Now, welcome back, everybody. I didn't say it in the last part, but at this stage in the game, if you try to push into Cairo with your forces, that is when you'll fight Shikibu, the apostle, on the field, and she'll just constantly fight there. If you're familiar with Asaya Sakura and their panda waves that they do, it's the same kind of thing. You can't really win, you just gotta fall back, or it's gonna keep happening. So you know. I figured I'd explain it because I probably won't experience that myself, mostly because I'm ending my turn here. And some story events will be allowed to play out. Yeah. So, there you go. Hopefully. I mean, if that's not the case, then I will attack other Demon Army territories. But, if you also do what I was doing here, and you kind of leave the Demon Army in your own area, because they are in my own area, you know? I could take Shikoku, I could take the other thing. They can attack you from those places, and they will. So, you have to be, you know, prepared for those attacks. Like, I left a territory, the one right next to Shikoku, with 2 cities. That is right next to both of the Demon Army territories, and I could, you know, it's possible that I will lose that territory if I become too tied up in what I'm doing, and I attack the Demon Army constantly, but they don't attack me while I'm pushing into Africa, and they just attack me back in my own territory. That can be an issue if you're inexperienced, or if you don't have the forces to deal with it, so it's better to work through them. Also, something important that I did not mention, on your first playthrough, if you're struggling, which you likely are, because it's not an easy game to get your foot in the door with, the Demon Army will probably have a lot more territory than it has for me. I'll show you on the map here. You can see that. Like, my first playthrough, the Demon Army took Hojo, they took Takeda, they took Mori, they took fucking everything, and the map was basically controlled by the Demon Army more than me. Well, after a certain amount of time, I think it's 30 turns or something along those lines, the game will auto-resolve that for you and clear out all of the Demon Army's territory for you. It makes it a much easier experience. And it gets rid of a lot of the redundancies. So, be aware of that. It only happens in your first playthrough. It's the only handicap that you're really given. So you're aware of that. It won't happen to me because I'm experiencing this right here. You know, Oda subordinates can go to Kentarou for help because he's important. He's a strong unit, you know? He's got fucking, you know, a demon slaying sword. He's a big deal. He's on par with Rance, even though he's less, cool. This sequence that's taking place right now is what is required to have happen if you want to deploy Kentarou against Gigai. If this happens, then Kentarou becomes a demon. That's what's happening right now. And Kentarou can then gain 3 levels every time he spars with Gigai. And that can go on forever. You have to clear out the Senkan Nagato, and this will happen. I don't know what Decants are. They're probably from another game. I don't even know if they're in this game. That might be a close-up of the Demon Army units we're about to be introduced to. It may not be. But Kentarou's a strong guy, he's handling himself, and he's there with his girlfriend, basically his girlfriend, Miki. And they're just, you know, they're doing their job as Oda people. They're clearing out the checkpoint of bad guys. It's all good. But this is also the sequence where you kill Shikibu, and Kentarou actually gets the KB on Shikibu. You know, he fucking kills her. I guess, basically Rance got it on Rengoku, you know? And I also see it as Rance getting it on Genbu. Or wait, fucking Mado. Why am I using his demon name? Kentarou gets it on Shikibu, and of course Son got it on Gigai, Suzaku. So, that's how that goes. This here is always winnable. You will never lose this because it's scaled for what Kentarou's level is. There's a specific way to handle it though. And if you handle it properly, you have no issue of, you know, losing. It's always the same. I'm letting you read this here because it's interesting. You know, Kentarou sees the boobs just like Rance. The best part about Shikibu. Alright. He keeps going there. And you're given this item. It might be a reference as well. I have no idea. They don't show you receiving it earlier, and it's required to win. I know from experience of reading what people have to say and my friends that there's some confusion here what you're supposed to do, and people have lost it that I know of. It's not really embarrassing or anything because they don't tell you that Kentarou has this item any other time than in this fight. You know, you find out that he has it here, and it's easy if you read his dialogue, but if you skip all of that shit, you're not going to know that he has it, and you're not going to know that he can use it. But you want to use Yomeishu, and like it says, it heals all of Kentarou's health and action flags, and it lets him go again. It's really easy to win. Really, really, really easy to win. If you know that's there. If you don't know that it's there, you'll get fucked up a little bit, but not hard. Not hard at all. And then you win. Of course, if you lose it, you get a game over. So, notice that. But, this is an important scene. It's a really important scene, actually. Because, of course, Kentarou becomes a demon because Miki is the Demon King, right? She can turn people into a demon. And Kentarou would die right here. They don't explain why she's still... They don't explain why Shikibu is still alive. She probably has some unique trait, some regenerative quality. I mean, it seemed like she died originally to Kentarou. But Miki is pissed off, you know? This bitch is fucking with her man. She doesn't like that, so she handles it like a true girlfriend should. And she does. She actually, I don't know if it's so much Miki is, she kind of loses herself there. But it is still Miki, I would say, because, you know, she's using the demonic, you know, the Demon King's power for what she wants, you know. So she does that. She fucking blows everything up. She kills Shikibu. She pretty much, you know, messes Kentarou up a bunch in the explosion and her clothing. But she bites Kentarou, makes him immortal, turns him into a demon, saves him. So I like this scene. It's my favorite one with these two. It's you know, one of the only good ones with these two, if you ask me. I think this is a pretty CG. And don't tell anybody about the nip slip there. I'm probably not going to censor it because it's an important scene, you know? So, disregard that. Hopefully, YouTube's not shit. But, it's the most touching scene you're going to get out of these two. And I really like the way that it's drawn. So, I don't think Miki was supposed to be doing these kinds of things, but she does. She saves him. Uses her Demon King's power to save Kentarou, and you... I fucking love this picture. I don't get it. I don't understand why this is here, but just fucking look at him. Look at Kentarou. He's such a dumbass. I don't know what to say about it. He looks awesome, right? He looks like Meitakeiji. I love this. It's a reference. Positive it's a reference, but... That's what Kentarou gets when he turns into a demon. Now he is forever known as Demon Kentarou, and he doesn't understand his potential. He doesn't understand what he can do with that power. His eyes change color. That's about it, really. There are a lot of exploits available to you in the game now that he's a demon. I'll explain those as it goes on. I'd like to talk about the scene more, though. Miki freaks out and she runs away. It triggers another sequence in the game where you have to attend to her. You have to go find her. Just like you had to find Koime back at Hanoji. It's the same deal. Except you have to do it a couple times. It's not just a one-time deal. It uses a lot of turns here if you don't have any commanders that have high enough search. And I don't, unfortunately. In my army right now, I'm actually lacking commanders with strong secondary stats, but this scene plays out here, and again, I really like the way Kentarou looks in that unique clothing, and that's the only time you see that as well, so that's interesting. But Miki flees, you know, right as things are getting serious with the demon army. She has to break the pace here. It's okay though. But Kentarou explains what happened to Rance. Explains that Shikibu is dead, and she is dead. You don't see her again, you know. But obviously Kentarou turning into a demon is canon. It's unavoidable, and it may have some presence in the next game, any other future Rance games, because Kentarou and Miki, they don't die or anything like that. So that incident throws Oda into chaos, and then you can't do anything. Let me look through my items briefly here. I can replenish troops. Let me do that, because I'm still going to have to defend against the demon army, should they attack me. Increase my guards. All of them. I'd like all of them to be higher than they are. Even little Koime. There we go. They're all at 1,000. Perfect. I don't really have anybody in the prison. Not enough to get a happy Pokeroo. This will go to... Kento gets one. I'll just dish out the other one really quickly as well. And it will go to... fucking... I don't know. Gonko. I'm not going to look too closely. I don't want to waste too much time. Alright. But because Oda's in chaos, you can't act. You know the routine. That happens periodically. All with story-heavy elements of the game. Now the Demon Army's taking some more action. And this is actually when the Demon Army ramps up. I don't want to say they become more difficult, but they change. They change a lot. If you've played previous Rance games, unlikely. Most people haven't played anything other than Sengoku Rance, and most people haven't started with other Rance games, you know. Most people start with Rance and then backtrack. But, they, basically summoned Shoguns, they're called, and they're demons from other Rance games. They've been present in other Rance games. Rance has experience with them. You'll see more of that in the future. They're basically the three... I don't want to call them final bosses or anything, but they're three preliminary bosses to the end of the game, and you'll see it. It's cool. I like it. I like this feature. But here, Miki is running across all of Oda's territory. People are trying to find her. She's wreaking havoc everywhere she goes because, you know, she's really strong. She's not a little girl, though that's what her appearance dictates. And she feels bad because Kentaro's all angry, but Kentarou actually loves her, and, you know, he's not mad at her or anything like that. So, there's going to be a little bit more story things happening in these coming parts, and it's all good. I like it, even though it's related to Miki and Kentarou. It brings them out more and makes them truly important. I mean, they were important in other parts of the game, but they're really important here, and it's all right. It's good enough for me, you know. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be in this part and most of the next one. I'm gonna be looking for Miki because there are dialogue-heavy segments and a really important and kind of a sad thing happens with Syl, so we'll see that. Yeah. I'll talk about it when it happens, as opposed to right now, before it happens, you know. But the Demon Army is going to be way more interesting now, and way more fun. I mean, it's a lot less routine than it was in the last couple parts. I'm not just going to be fighting generic human commanders. I'm not going to be fighting... you know, the brothers with 200 troops because I fucked them up so bad. It'll be interesting. It'll be unique. And you'll find it enjoyable, I hope, to play or watch. But, Kentarou, because he's a demon, he can only be hurt by other demons. And, you know, one of the weapons that he wields a demon-slaying weapon. And Rance has the other. So, Rance could kill Kentarou, but... you know, other than that, I mean, Xavier could as well, I suppose. But nothing else can. Kentarou, he's full of bullshit right now. And that's one of the reasons Gigai would struggle with him, because he's a demon. And Gigai is a demon as well, but I don't know. It's interesting. So... I mean, you may actually see me show one of the bullshit situations with Kentarou. To demonstrate what I mean, let me just do this really quick. Dismiss all of his troops, because he's not going to be using them. He's not even going to need them at this point in the game. One troop is enough. Yep, I'll see you guys in the next part.